Have you ever wondered if you're left-brained or right-brained? Quizzes like this one can tell you the answer with some simple questions. These quizzes claim that left-brained people are more analytical, strategic, and practical. They prefer order, logic, and reason, and are better at math and science. Right-brained people, on the other hand, are thought to be more creative and artistic, excelling in more abstract disciplines. The idea of a left-brain, right-brain division has become so popular that it's infiltrated pop culture, advertising, and other aspects of society. It's probably the most famous so-called fact about the brain. But research has shown that this isn't neuroscience. The left-brain, right-brain division is a neuromyth. So how did this become a myth in the first place? To answer this question, let's look at the research of neuropsychologist Roger Sperry and his split brain experiments from the 1950s. Dr. Sperry researched a part of the brain called the corpus callosum, which connects your right and left hemispheres. In the 1930s, scientists cut it to prevent seizures from traveling from one side to the other. For a long time, it seemed like patients were functioning totally normally without their corpus callosum. But it wasn't until Dr. Sperry conducted experiments on split brain patients that we realized what actually happens when this bridge between the two hemispheres gets severed. The corpus callosum helps the two halves of the brain communicate. When we see something out of our left eye, the information gets sent to the right half of our brain. And when we see something out of our right eye, that information gets sent to the left half of our brain. This feature is called contralateral control. In other words, the right hemisphere of our brain controls what we do on the left side of our body, and the left hemisphere of our brain controls what we do on the right side of our body. That's why our corpus callosum is super important. Without it, we can't send information from one side to the other. It's especially important in humans. Our corpus callosum is bigger than any other primates. So when it's damaged, what we learn from one eye doesn't transfer over to the other side of the brain. This problem gets worse when we test tasks that occur specifically in certain halves of the brain. For example, we now know that language processing occurs mostly in the left hemisphere. So, a split brain patient can only say the name of an object, like a ring, if they're seeing it in their right visual field. And if you ask them to pick out this ring with their left hand, it's an impossible task because this ring image is processed in their left hemisphere, but their left hand is controlled by the right hemisphere. The best this patient can do is pick up this ring with her right hand only. These split brain studies enable Dr. Sperry to see what happens when the left half of the brain is severed from the right half. As a result, we now know that some tasks are lateralized, that is, they occur mainly in only one hemisphere. So how exactly did this explode into a theory of left brain or right brain dominance? In reality, there's no such thing. At best, we can say that the left hemisphere is specialized for some tasks, such as details in language, and the right hemisphere for others, such as abstract ideas. And the corpus callosum facilitates crosstalk between hemispheres. But still, this result is pretty significant. Dr. Sperry earned a Nobel Prize in medicine. In the words of the doctor himself, "The great pleasure and feeling in my right brain is more than my left brain can find the words to tell you."